Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome into the new moon in Aries ceremony. So what I like to do for the new moons and for the full moon is gather together and really align ourselves with what's going on naturally in the world around us. I think with everything that's going on, it's very it's bringing our awareness to the natural rhythms that are around us and helping us to get more in touch with nature and get more in touch with the cycles. So what's going on right now astrologically is that the moon is a new moon, which brings new energy, new life into our awareness, into our existence. And it's in the sign of Aries. So Aries astrologically is the first sign of the zodiac, which means that we are ending a story and we are starting a new one. And isn't that so true with everything that's going on right now? It's such a great opportunity to start a new story. So it's basically like there was nothing, right? And then from nothing emerged this ram, this Aries energy, this fire, this spark. And that spark decided to go out and start expressing itself and creating itself. And that is the energy behind this new moon. New moons always mean new energy, new beginnings. But this one in Aries, especially where it falls in the zodiac, is really inviting us into the newness of something completely new, like a completely different story, like end the stories of the Pisces, end the stories of whatever it is that's been keeping us stuck and stagnant, and really starting a whole new story with all new intentions, with all new possibilities, with magic and laughter and joy. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at our wounds. So Chiron is the wounded healer, and right now it's in Aries. It hasn't been in Aries in our history since it was discovered. So this is the first time that we're really experiencing Chiron in Aries as a collective consciousness. So Chiron in Aries is really inviting us to use this energy of the wounded healer to move forward. So to me, what that felt like was transforming and letting go of the wounds, ending that story. That story ends tonight. That story ends now. What story do we want to write? What does it sound like? What does it look like? What does it feel like? And can we commit to just being done? Just being done with what doesn't serve us, being done with carrying our wounds around and showing them to people. Look at my wounds. Look how I'm hurt. Look at all these things around me that are holding me back. Look, right? Can we start a new story? Be like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be alive. I'm so happy for the nature around me. I'm so happy for this existence. I'm so grateful. I'm expressing myself. I'm exploring new stuff about myself. This is the opportunity. So if you're at home and you have a candle, if you want to light it, you can. What I do is I always light one candle for each of the elements, and then I light one candle for the moon itself. So if you only have one candle, you can light it when I light the one for the moon. If not, I'm just setting the intention that these energies are being pulled in for everyone watching live or the replay. And we're going to call in the energies all around us and really bring ourselves into this ceremony now. So we're calling in the energies of the north. This is the energy of earth. We're thanking the energies of earth for being with us in this ceremony, bringing us stability, bringing us love, bringing us support, bringing us a grounded energy. We're thankful for the energy of the earth around us. We're calling in the energies of air and the energies of the east. Thankful for the energies of the east for being here. Thankful for the energies of air for being here, for the breath in our lungs, for the movement of the wind on our face, to remind us to soak in each moment. Call in the energy of fire and the energy of the south. And we thank the energies of fire and the energies of the south for being with us. That energy of Aries, that fire sign, is with us right now, and we are thankful for that energy being present. And we call in the energy of the west, the energy of water. Thankful for her nurturing, healing, loving energy. Thankful for all she brings. Grateful that she's with us in this ceremony. Now we're going to call on the energy of the moon herself, the energy of the new moon, these new beginnings, new exciting times. It might not feel like a time for you to be setting intentions right now. It might feel really daunting to try to be starting something, a new chapter, a new story. But I promise you, letting go of that old story and moving forward into a new one is exactly what this opportunity is offering us. That's astrologically, that's naturally what's happening. And so we get to embrace that, we get to experience that. So what we're going to be doing is, in just a moment, we're going to be grabbing our journals. And in our journals, we're going to be writing out the end of our story. So whatever it is personally for you that you are just sick of seeing repeated over and over again, you're just sick of telling the same story, this energy of lack or pain or whatever it is that's been holding you back. For me, I'll share with you guys. For me, it's codependence. It's this feeling of unworthiness when I get into a romantic relationship or when I try to love with all my heart. I give so much of myself that I lose myself. And that's my wound. It's been a theme throughout my entire life. And that's what I'm letting go of today. So I'm just being open and honest with you guys. It's something as big as that or as little as that, whatever it is that you're looking to let go of. Write the end to the story. So I started doing this on my own, and what started coming up was just kind of like the end of a story. So it's like, and then she finally learned that she didn't have to do all of these things that she was doing to find her worth and her value. And she picked up all the broken pieces of herself and they came together, and she didn't know where she was going, but it was a beautiful place and she knew it. So like, just like the end of a story, just begin to write that for yourself. We're going to take some time on this. So allow yourself to have this process. If you're somebody who likes to draw instead, if you want to draw the end of the story, you can do that. If you want to write a poem about how the story ends. But we're really looking into what wound it is that you've been carrying. What wound is it? What story are you sick of telling? And what story do you want to just let go of? And then we get into the exciting part where we're going to write the new story for ourselves. But first, we got to end this other story. It's time to just write it down and end it. So feel free to grab your journal, start writing. Feel free to comment if you're wanting to comment. I don't know how to see the YouTube comments. Maybe if someone posts, I can check. So this is water, but I know it's in a red Solo cup. It's water. If you're just jumping on, what we're doing is we are writing down the end of whatever story it is that we have been running. The energy of this new moon is all about writing a completely new story, but I thought it appropriate to write the end to whatever story that you're carrying. Chiron is the wounded warrior, and it's in Aries right now, and it's inviting us to heal our wounds. It's inviting us to heal the part of us that we've been carrying for so long in that story we keep retelling. So we're in our journals just writing down the end of that story. So just like imagine how a story could end and just write it out. Really get as detailed or as be as bland as you want to be. This is your own experience, but really write down what it is that is coming to an end for you, or what it is that you're intending to come for an end for you. If this is something that you, actually, no, we're going to hold on that thought. I'm going to hold that thought. That's going to be for later. So just, I'm going to give everyone like 5 more minutes to write. So keep writing, maybe add something. Maybe there's a part of you that is connected to this wound that you haven't really brought back into the end of this story. So like, where did it start? When did you first feel it? You can go back and revisit that and bring that up in the story as well for those who are just visiting or just joining. And if you're done writing, then you can start to think about this new story. Don't start writing yet, because I'm going to give you a few other prompts before we go into that part. If you've done writing, maybe draw something, write a poem. It's all about just processing. Just giving everyone a few more minutes to finish their writing, finish whatever end of the story they want. Like I said, for me, I kind of started writing about how I was going back to the wounded parts of me, the parts of me that were carrying this wound, that saw it from its first expression to the most current one that I've experienced, and just kind of gathered them all together. So I was really thorough in going back and finding all of those wounds and wrapping up the end of this story, bringing it all together. If anyone is feeling bold and brave and wants to put in the comments what their wound is that they're letting go of, you're more than welcome to do that. It's not necessary, but if it feels like something you want to share, sometimes when we just declare what it is that we're letting go of, it can really help us to process that. Like I shared with you guys what it is that I'm letting go of, and sometimes it helps just to speak it out loud. And now we're going to move on And before we write the story of ourselves moving forward, this kind of brings back into what we were doing yesterday with the crown chakra healing. I know some of you were there for that, some of you weren't, so I'll just recap a little bit. When we opened our crown chakra, what we were doing is we were connecting to source. We were connecting to the truth of this existence that we're living. We're connected to the truth that exists inside of us. And what we discovered was a few truths. So I want you to write these truths down at the top of your paper. I want you to write down the truth that you are safe. So I am safe. Writing that down. Even if you don't feel like it right now, even if that's something that's hard for you to accept, we're just going to write that down because it's a powerful affirmation in and of itself. And the energies moving forward, we want to be aligned with our source. We want to be aligned with the truth of who we are. The safety is part of being in alignment with that. We want our new story to have the resonance of all of these truths about ourselves and allow ourselves to really come fully into that expression. So I am safe. The next one is I have unlimited creative potential. So I have unlimited, and it helps to write it down. So I'm safe. I have unlimited creative potential. I have unlimited power. I am unconditionally loved. And I have unconditional love. I express my truth. I feel my truth. And I'm connected to my truth. So what we're going to do now is we're going to write our new story. So what does this first chapter of this new story, how does that start for you? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it look like? And remember, this new story doesn't have any of that past story that you've just let go of. So think about this Aries energy, right? This ram moving into existence, moving into expression. It doesn't reference what happened in the past. It doesn't need to go back and see what was going on before. It just gets to express itself for the sake of expressing itself. There's nothing holding it back. There are no limits. So imagine this story of your life starting today, but without the restrictions of finances, without the restrictions of resources, without the restrictions of the past. This might seem like, okay, well, that's not real, Paige. That's not part of what's actually going to happen in reality. But you're writing this story. You are the one who gets to create it. You are the one who gets to envision it. And you are the one who ultimately gets to live it. But we have to move out of our wounds. We have to move out of our belief that we are lacking. We have to move out of our belief that we're not loved. And we have to move out of the belief that we don't have support from the universe. We don't have to. We can choose to stay in those beliefs and create the same stories over and over again. But this time in humanity, this time in our lives, this time astrologically is begging us to see a different story, to create a different story, one that comes from our hearts, comes from our souls, and is more aligned with what it is that we truly want. So allow this story to have magic. Allow this story to have miracles. Allow this story to have synchronicities that happen beyond any possible reason and without any restrictions. Let this be your new story of your life. How does it start? Just start writing it. You might want to draw it. You might want to write a poem about it, but really just think for a moment, take a few minutes to get in touch with what it is that you would create out of your life if you could just write your own story and start from scratch. Like, what does that actually mean for you? And then refer to the things we wrote down. Make sure that the story is aligned with those things. Remind yourself of those things as you're writing this story. And remember that the story doesn't include your wound, that this wound is a story of the past. You've learned that lesson. That story has ended. This is an entirely new story. What does it sound like? How does it begin? And you can write as much of it, as little of it. You can plot out chapters. Really just have fun with this. It might seem like a chore, but getting engaged in this and really committing your energy to it is going to help you see its potentiality. I didn't do this part yet, so I get to write too. So if you're just tuning in, what we're doing is we are writing down our new story. What story do you want to create moving forward with your life? This is an absolutely brand new story. Different themes, different things to explore, different things to express. So if you're just joining us, that's what we're doing. We're starting to write our own story, what it is that we're doing moving forward, and making sure that we're not creating the same stories, the same themes that we've created in the past, recreating the same wounds, setting ourselves up for the same situations that we have seen in the past, or moving forward from that. So keep writing, allow yourself to explore, get creative with it. If you want to draw, if you want to write a poem about it, if you want to write out what the chapters are, like chapter titles, like, I don't know, whatever chapter titles fall in line with what it is that you're creating, what it is that you're writing, what it is that you are doing with this new story. So again, if you're just joining, what we're doing is we are writing down a new story for ourselves. It's as if we're starting a completely new book, completely from scratch, and we're deciding what it is that we're going to create now. We're writing down the beginning of this new story. You can use as much description as you want to. Just remember that this new story is your own creation. What do you actually want? What magic can you bring into your life? What miracles do you want to see happen? Don't worry about the things that might be in the way right now. That's not part of what we're bringing into the ceremony. We're not looking at the logistics of it. We're going to let things unfold, but we're going to really hold on to what story do you want to live? How do you want to live now? But everything that we're leaving behind, we're leaving a lot behind as a human species. We're going to talk about that in just a minute here, but what is it that you personally want to move forward with? What is it that you personally want to see happen differently in your life than is happening right now? And how can you incorporate that into your life? How can you dream that up? You're not incorporating into your life right now. You're just dreaming it up. What is your dream? What is this new story? Write it down. Get creative with it. And remember, for those of you who were here at the beginning, remember that you're safe. You are unlimited in your creative potential. You have unlimited power. You are unconditionally loved and you love unconditionally. You're connected with truth. You feel truth. Go from there. What is it? What can you create? What story unfolds from that starting point? And it's your own personal story, so you get to take it wherever you want to go with it. If you want to go to Egypt and decode hieroglyphs, great. Awesome. If you want to be a monk, great. Awesome. If you want to do anything in between, left, sideways, upside down, whatever, great. Just give you guys a few more minutes to write this out. Write out your new story, and then we'll keep moving forward. So if you're just joining, we're just finishing up writing on our story of what it is that we are creating moving forward. It doesn't matter how plausible you think it is. It's the story of your dream. This is a brand new story. It's like literally the beginning of what's going to unfold. So how does that start? You can just open that up, and you don't need to know how it's going to end. The end of the story is not what we're writing right now. We're just writing the beginning, but we're using this new framework of I am safe, unconditionally loved, I have unlimited creative power, I feel my truth, I speak my truth. What does a story that starts with those things true and already embodied in you look like? Even if you don't feel like they are right now. That's the dream. That's what we're working from this point. Moving on from the wounds, moving on from the things that we thought we knew were true about reality, the things that we thought we knew were consistent and real and concrete. And we're letting go of that story because clearly it's falling apart. Clearly it's not being held together, and we're writing into our new story. So we're going to move forward, and now what we're going to do is we're going to write out the end of the story and all of the wounds for all of humanity. So whatever this means to you, but we're going to write out the end together of this story of being wounded, a wounded species, a wounded humanity. However you want to end that story, whatever that looks like for you, get creative, have fun with it. Don't worry if you think it's not good enough. It doesn't matter. If you want to draw a picture of what that looks like, great. If you want to draw a symbol, but whatever it is, let's together use our collective power to end this story. We're ending this story for humanity, and then we're going to write a new one. Okay, so we did it for ourselves. Now we get to do it for humanity. Or if there's somebody that you're worried about, you want to focus on that person. But I think it's even more powerful if we do this just collectively. And then the human species got their shit together. The end. But however you want to end that story, whatever that looks like to you or sounds like to you, feel free to write that out, draw it out, write a poem, whatever it is. Hello, dear. I love you. But yeah, let's end this story. What does it sound like to end this story? So hi, if you're just joining, what it is that we're doing right now is we are journaling. In our journals, we're writing down the end of the story for humanity of all of the wounds that have been holding humanity back. So we already wrote down these personally for ourselves. You can go back and watch the replay and start from the beginning if you want to, but if you want to jump in right now, we're creatively coming up with an end to this story of all of the things that has been wounding humanity, the things that have been holding us back as a species. And we're bringing that to a close, we're bringing that to a conclusion. If you're new to the stream, just post in the comments that you're new so that I can bring you up to speed with where we are. It's hard for me to tell who's popping in and on. So if you're new, just write in the comments and I'll catch you up. Thanks. And as you might have guessed, the next thing that we're going to be doing is writing the new story for humanity. So you can bring your own conclusion to a conclusion or go back to it when you're done, when we're done with this. But we're going to be moving and shifting into, okay, what does it mean now if humanity's let go of all of its stuckness, all of the things holding us back, all of the beliefs that are rooted in things that aren't true about the nature of reality, the nature of who we are as a human species, that we are part of the universe, exploring itself, expressing itself, and interacting with itself. And we are inseparable from that truth. We are safe, and we are free to create, and we have the power to create whatever it is that we want. What does a human experience story, where does it go? What does it look like? We might not know the answer to that, so just start writing something. Just start somewhere. What does the beginning of humanity realizing their unlimited potential look like? How does that story start? You might write out future chapters if you want to. You can even kind of write if you think you know where it's going to the end. But really, we're just starting. We're just beginning this new story. Astrologically, the new story with the Aries moving into the forefront, and it's a new moon. What is this new story for humanity? What does it look like? What does it sound like? How does it start? I know personally what I think it starts with, but you get to write in your own interpretation of it. What does that look like? If you're new to the stream, just post in the comments that you're new. I'll catch you up to speed of where we are. If you're not new to the stream, welcome back. So we're gonna end that writing exercise now, and we're going to join into a meditation. So set your writing aside. Set everything aside. Get into a comfortable position. Closing your eyes, settling your body into relaxation. Making any adjustments to the position that you're in so that you're comfortable. I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let go of the story that's old. So you breathe this next breath in, fill your lungs with this new story, with the magic, with the excitement. Exhale resistances. Breathe life into this new space. Exhale out the old story, the old pattern. As you return to normal breathing, bring your focus to your body, being aware of the parts of your body, the sensations in your body, as you imagine a white light coming down from the ceiling. It's warm, it's healing, it's protective, it's nurturing. It's going to any part of your body that needs focus and attention and healing right now. You can feel a tingling or a warmth there, just surrounding any part of your body that's uncomfortable or tense or aching. This light helps to release the tension, to remove it, to reduce it, to release it. And feel your whole body surrounded in this beautiful warmth. I'm going to ask you to be aware of your body, feeling your whole body, feeling the skin around you, feeling the entire perimeter of your physical body, feeling the limits of your physical presence. I'm going to ask you to expand that out, to feel the energy around you, to feel into the space around you. Feeling into the room that you are in. And feel this expansion go out even further. It goes out of your house, goes to your community. Just feel yourself expanding out to your community. Feel your awareness growing larger and larger. Now your state or providence. Now your country. Now the world. Now you're going to reach out and you're going to connect with the moon. You're going to see her as she is right now, dark, feeling the energy that she's sending to the earth, sending to you where you are seated right now. You connect with her. This moon energy, this is the darkness, but it's not a bad thing. Light cannot create without dark to help it make shapes. So although it feels like there might be darkness, it might be hard to navigate, it might be hard to see in this nothingness, this darkness, this blank slate we've been given. Might be hard to see where to go next, but you have already started that story. You've already started to create with this darkness, to bring your light into it and to create the shapes and the patterns that you want to create. So imagine the moon as a chalkboard and feel your light starting to express itself on this chalkboard, starting to create and draw or write out this new story. What it is that your soul is yearning to experience. What it is that you are wanting to move forward in your life and experience. See shapes taking form on her blank canvas. Feel your own light there, creating this new story. And feel her energy shining down on a new you. A you that doesn't maybe know how, but knows that you're going to create a life that you desire. A life that supports you. A life that is free from your wounds of the past. Free from the thoughts that keep you locked into the vibrations that no longer serve you. And feel her looking down on the whole earth, all of the human species. She's offering the same invitation to humanity. She's offering this blank slate, and see humanity collectively starting to draw, starting to create, starting to explore themselves beyond their wounds, to explore this new, uncharted territory. We're all drawing these new pictures, writing this new story. It's going to be so much better than we can even imagine right now. As we come back down into our bodies now, again, just feeling the skin of your body, feeling the outline of your body, becoming aware of it. I'm going to invite you to search for the wounded parts of you. What part of your body do you hold this wound that you are releasing? If you don't know, you can just ask your body, and you might feel a tingling, a panging. Your focus might go there. You might just hear the word of the body part. Try not to analyze what body part shows up or try to understand why it's showing up. It doesn't really matter. So we're identifying the part of our body or the multiple parts of our body where this wound exists. And we're going to send love into that part of our body. Send appreciation. Thank you. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the experiences. Thank you for showing up over and over and over and over again so that I may finally get to this point where I'm so sick of you. I'm ready to move on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, body, for all that you do. And then tell that part of your body, hey, guess what? We have a new energy to create. We have a new story to tell, body. Tell your cells that, tell the organs that, tell the tissues that. Really feel yourself communicating with that part of your body that is holding that wound and saying, hey, not only am I here to support you and honor you for all your lessons, but I'm here to give you new data, new information. Our cells, we can communicate them with to them with our consciousness. We can communicate to our body. Our body is constantly communicating to us. We are constantly communicating to it. So let's touch base with the part of us that this wound is being held in. Hey, body. Guess what? We can create anything. Guess what? It's time to experience life without this wound, without this pain, without this story. Guess what? I'm bringing in new experiences where you don't have to hurt anymore. I'm creating an entirely new story that's free from the pain that you've experienced, that you've held for me, that you've communicated to me throughout my life. See if you can feel your cells respond to that. To get excited for that, to realign to that. See if you can really trust yourself to let go of this pattern. Ready or not, it's time. You don't need to carry this anymore. Your body doesn't need it, your mind doesn't need it, your emotions don't need it, the rest of humanity doesn't need you to carry it. Nobody needs it anymore. We're learning our lessons, we're shifting our paradigms, we're creating entirely new realities. How exciting. We're going to expand our awareness out once more to include the entire planet. Seeing the entire planet and seeing the wounds on the planet, especially the lungs of the planet, the trees. Seeing the wounds that the planet has sustained for humanity to learn its lessons. Seeing the pollution, the deforestation, destruction, industrialization. And touch base with Earth. See if you can feel connected to the planet that we're on. See if you can hold her in your heart or see her in front of you. Just say, thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you for all you've gone through so that we as a species can learn. Thank you for communicating to us that you needed our attention. Thank you for allowing us to shift. Thank you for forcing us to pause. Thank you for carrying these wounds. Guess what? We see you. And we're ready to move forward as a species that no longer wounds you. We're ready to move forward as a species that works together to keep you healthy and well and to create with you, to experience all the beauty you have to offer, all the experiences, all the abundance that you have to give. Thank you, Mother Earth. We are ready to start a new story with you. We are excited to see you heal. To no longer make you carry the burdens of our lessons. You can feel again the energy of the moon shining down on this earth. That ram in the sky moving forward around the planet, sparking an entirely new way of being inside of the hearts of all of us. lighting us up, and reminding us what we're truly capable of. Giving us the permission to freely explore what that is without the wounds of our past, without needing to continue to wound ourselves to learn. I'm going to end this meditation in just a moment with 3 deep breaths. On the inhale, what we're going to intend is we're breathing life into our cells, life into the planet, and on the exhale, we're letting go of our need to create these dramas. So together, we'll take a deep breath into our lungs, into our cells, into the planet. Exhale this drama. Deep inhale in of new beginnings, new stories. Exhale out the old. Another deep breath in. And exhale. As you return to your normal breathing, feel yourself come back into your body. Being aware of the space around you, being aware of the room around you, slowly bringing movement back into your hands, back into your feet, back into your body. When you are ready, you can open your eyes. So my friends, if you have a candle at home and you want to end this ceremony with a little bit of burning, you are invited to do that. Please be safe. It's always good to have water in hand. It's good to tear your things up into little pieces. I'll show you what it looks like. And make sure you have something to put the fire out in case it gets out of control. So it's best if you do like little strips like that. Okay? Don't fold it. I learned that the hard way. Don't fold them up. So if you want to do that to end your ceremony, you can do that with at the end, or you can just pause this and do it. We're going to end the circle in the ceremony. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for participating. I hope this was helpful for you to re-envision your life. Let's all re-envision life together. If you want to reach out to me, please share the story with me. If you're having trouble creating what it is that you want to create, let's chat. We're all in this together, and this is an entirely new thing. It's scary, but it's so, so, so good and so exciting. And we are part of the unfolding. So I'm going to end the ceremony. We're going to release the energy of the moon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for your love. Release the energies of the west and water. Release the energies of fire and the south. Release the energies of the east. Thank you for being here. Thank you, air. Releasing the energies of the north and earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate you.